Alright, so I wanted to talk briefly about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Compared to Xenoverse 1, which is a game that I did like, and I did a decent amount of hours on it, Xenoverse 2 seems a lot more fluid and a lot more concise as far as the actual mechanics are concerned. Fighting seems a lot more like a DBZ show and not sluggish, I guess, because in Xenoverse 1 it almost was like you're fighting through molasses. And this time around it's a little bit better. It's not perfect, but it's a lot faster, so it makes it feel a lot more high octane rather than actually kind of boring, all things considered. One thing I really did not like about Xenoverse 1 was how you'd get the access as a Saiyan class, how you get access to Super Saiyan. And that mostly stemmed from it kind of just being random, and you had to constantly repeat a mission where you had to beat Frieza over and over again just for a chance of it dropping. And for you to get it in the store was a rare chance as well. But when you did find it, pretty much you were set. That was only for Super Saiyan 1, not Super Saiyan 2. And this time around with Xenoverse 2, when you actually do get access to Super Saiyan, you have to be level 40. And it took me 8 hours to get to level 40 as my Saiyan. And you have to go to the Capsule Corp to train with Vegeta twice. The second time around, you're going to be fighting him while he's a Super Saiyan. And it's going to be pretty much just a simple, straightforward fight. Following that fight, though, you'll have to fight both Vegeta and Goku twice to get Super Saiyan. And that fight is actually a little bit difficult. I had a hard time actually taking care of Vegeta. But Goku wasn't that difficult, to be honest. But with these things in mind, it seems like they really took the issues that Xenoverse 1 had and really wanted to work with what they had this time around and make it better. Because it's actually a lot of fun, and I'm really surprised. Xenoverse 2 was not something that was on my radar for a really long time because I was afraid that it was going to end up like Xenoverse 1, where it doesn't really get too popular, nobody really buys it, and then it just dies because when nobody buys it, at the end of the day, they have no reason to constantly maintain server support and maintain online support, so. But it looks like this time around, it's a lot more popular, especially with Dragon Ball Super being out right now, and Goku Black pretty much being one of the Season Pass characters, I believe. Not 100% sure, I don't really remember. But for those of us who have the deluxe edition, or if you bought the season pass on its own, there's a lot of content coming up with Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And an interesting thing that they do with this particular game this time around is raiding. It's a lot more like a WoW raid, in my opinion, but rather than actually having people constantly barraging attacks, it's more so like a QTE game, I guess. They're not great, but they're unique, and you have to have 6 people to do a raid, which I like because it forces you to play with people in a game that, for the most part, nobody's going to really play with somebody else unless it's somebody they know. So being forced to do that is actually kind of neat. Graphic-wise, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 looks amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. And a lot of that stems from just the upgraded engine, and the cell shading style that they used this time around it's a lot cleaner, a lot more crisp, and it just suits the characters so much, and it looks so damn good. Just looking at the animation quality is mwah. It's like fucking 4 a.m. when I'm recording this. I'm in the car. Nobody's outside. Sound, nothing too special. It's Dragon Ball Z sounds. The music doesn't really stand out too much for me. It's not like the Budokai games where the opening theme was absolutely phenomenal for all of them. It's just kind of this generic rock theme that I'm not too big of a fan of. And I'd have to say the roster kind of lacking, all things considered. With how many characters we've had in, say, Budokai Tenkaichi and all that, you'd think that they'd have a bit more of a diverse roster. They have the important characters. And I'm sure they're going to add more with the season pass, so maybe as I play the game a little bit more, I'll start picking some more people up. But having 4 different versions of Frieza taking up 4 different character slots is a little fucking ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, it's the same fucking character, and that's a transformation, if anything, so maybe make it a transformation. So, just to wrap things up, it's hitting about 6 minutes now, so I'll wrap it up here. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is a game that I would recommend picking up, especially if you're a Dragon Ball fan, or if you're an action fighter fan, because it's not really a dead-set fighting game, but more so almost like a beat-em-up fighting game. So it's kind of interesting like that. But if you're interested in this kind of style of game, if you're interested in Dragon Ball Z, if you're interested in maybe going outside of your comfort zone and trying something that a lot of people who played beat-em-ups back in the day, thinking Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, games like that, you'd probably like this. However, you probably just have to get used to the different aesthetic. But the game itself, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. And the reason that is because it does lack in certain areas. Nothing too special as far as sound, no memorable tracks in that regard. And the roster with certain characters taking up multiple slots for no damn reason is a little absurd. So, Dragon Ball Xenoverse is available to pick up on PC. I believe it is on PS4 and Xbox One as well. But out of the 3, I'd recommend picking it up on PC because PC is going to have the best support. And not only that, you have a little bit more maneuverability as far as visuals, because I know frame rates are clocked in the console versions, and not a lot of people are too big of fans of that. So I'd say pick it up for PC if you're going to be picking it up at all. But yeah, 8 out of 10. And I'd say it's definitely a worthwhile buy, because at the end of the day, it's Dragon Ball Z. It feels like Dragon Ball Z. It looks like Dragon Ball Z. It smells like Dragon Ball Z. It tastes like Dragon Ball Z. At the end of the day, it is Dragon Ball Z. And also be sure to check out Dragon Ball Super on Crunchyroll, as it is now being streamed there, and also it is going to be English dubbed starting in a month. So starting in December, they are going to start releasing dubs for Dragon Ball Super on Crunchyroll, thanks to Funimation. So feel free to check that as well. And Dragon Ball Z fans, I'd say, check it out.